Am I supposed to share my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So I will do that. So I believe my screen is on
Yeah,
you.
it's there.
Yes.
Well, you go ahead.
Okay. So thank you. So I am Anand Kumar. I am the CEO of Life Circle Health Services, and we provide home healthcare services for seniors in India. So we started this company in 2013, and currently we are in different parts of India, including Hyderabad, Delhi, NCR, Bangalore. We also operate in Chandigarh and Guwahati. Uh, and we provide services across these more than 10,000 days of service that we provide per month to seniors. And, and we also have a very strong technology backbone. Most of our caregivers are women who come from very poor backgrounds, and we have our own training centers for training them in Assam, Orissa, and Andhra Pradesh. So the mission that we have is to be a leading and trusted platform where we can connect home healthcare services to seniors. I would talk in more detail about why we do this, but just wanted you to get a sense on our company. We also have a strategic partnership with a French company. It's one of the largest social enterprise in France with more than 12,000 employees in France. And they are our technical partner and also on our board. It's called Group SOS, and they run mobile health care services and other home health care services for seniors. And they have been doing that for more than 20 years. A bit about us. So I am Anand Kumar, as I said, and I have done my management, and I am also a TED India fellow. Before starting Life Circle, I was the CEO of Lifespring Maternity Hospital, a chain of hospitals which was for working poor. And in fact, this hospital chain was also awarded the UN World Business Development Award and various awards for the innovative practices that was followed in that hospital. The reason that I moved from Lifespring Hospital to Life Circle because there was a need to take care of my mother who was bedridden, and I was not able to find a professional caregiving services to take care. And in fact, the service that I needed was in Delhi, and despite being in the capital of India, I was not able to find a reliable service. So I took the challenge of starting this service. Not only for myself, but also for many such people like me who needed this service. And over a period of time, we have built this into a pan-India company. I'm also supported by Ms. Priya Anand, who is also a professional, similar kind of a background. And she also has MBA and a fellowship in palliative care. Prior to that, she was a Chief Operating Officer Global for Access Health International. The kind of services that we provide is anything from basic service, like there are seniors who are staying alone and they need companionship. In case they have more requirement, if they're bedridden, we also take care of bathing, hygiene, any kind of feeding. As you can see, care complexity can be like if somebody has come out from the hospital or they are totally bedridden, we are even able to provide them with medical services and nursing services. And we primarily work around patients who have Alzheimer's, who have cancer, who had a stroke, or maybe they need a hospitalization care. As all of you know, I need not explain, preach to the Pope, as people say that the need for senior care. But I would, because I'm making this presentation, I would talk about it. India's senior population is growing rapidly, right? Although we are considered a young nation with younger population, but nearly 10% of our population is above 60, right? And what's happening is like many of these seniors who are there are immobile. Like we have numbers as much as 60% of the seniors become immobile by the age they reach 70. High level of medical complication is seen, right? And many of them have different kind of infections, bed sores and things like that. many of you, jury and people who are listening to this presentation would empathize that you would have come across somebody in your family or some relative or some friend who has been having this kind of problem or needs this kind of service. And that's where we come in. So if you look at our customers, primary customers are urban seniors who are immobile, suffer from long-term chronic illness like dementia, cancer, stroke, or end of life, right? And they belong to middle income and above. Having said this, if you look at being a social enterprise, the care that is provided to these seniors are provided by. Hello. Yeah. So the care that is provided by young women from very difficult background. In fact, 70% of our income that we earn is passed on, remitted back to these women uh, who are from the poorer area. So in a way, 70% of all that we earn goes back to the to our caregivers who are, in fact, 95% of our caregivers are women, young women. So if you look at today, they are either cared by relatives or by untrained informal providers. Many of, and as we have all experienced, many of us, that because they are informal providers, there's no reliability on the service. And also the staff, the caregivers do not have the motivation because they do not have a career path to continue with their profession, right? So that's where we come in. What is our solution? How do we manage that? So we have a technology backbone, but the basic thing that we are trying to do is we are trying to balance. We come as a platform where the first thing that we do is we try to find a right kind of a caregiver for the seniors. So as we train caregivers, we are able to create a very customized curriculum for them, right? And we have software which can match caregivers clients requirements with caregiver based on location, language, very specific skills required, right? Budget, right? uh, Moreover, what happens is, what we also do is not only, we are not a placement company that we just place a person with a senior. We have a team of nurses and specialists who would also guide the caregiver and the family to take care of the senior. So for do that, we have a kind of a customized care planning that we do for every senior and every family. Now, as you appreciate that not all requirements are the same, and the understanding that is needed by the caregivers to take care of seniors also varies from house to house or senior to senior. So a cancer patient would require a very different kind of care from, say, a dementia patient. And that's where we come in and we create this customized plan for every family. And then we monitor that. We also do a kind of a home health care workers background checking. So as to ensure that the caregiver or the nurse who is working with the family have a kind of a no criminal record or things like that. We also monitor the attendance and things like that. And finally, we also ensure that the caregivers get a fair deal. They get the payments. We have a review system by which their performance is reviewed and things like that. We were incubated in Hyderabad, and over a period of time, we have been awarded various things like top 10 healthcare innovations 2014 and things like that, and many more. So in fact, I completed the presentation a bit before the time, so that if jury has questions, I would be happy to take and clarify further.
Good, Anant. Very nice. That is a unique initiative which you have incubated. Very nice of you. But before that, we like to understand few things, because uh, everything is not charity and everything is not on a social welfare thing. Okay. So, number one, that how exactly you have been making your revenue going, Number
Right.
one. Number two, what's the strength of your staff which is helping you? Number three, that how the resources are being mobilized for taking care of this. That identification of your targeted clients, how exactly you are going to target your clients and how they find you in case of need. And are you being supported, funded by any of that venture capitalist, or you're still on your own and when you will be profitable?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just repeat the question. So one is what is the revenue model, right, for us, and how do we? Second is what is the strength of staff, right? Third is around how are we profitable and how do we have investors and things like that. So I will talk about that as well. And fourth is how do clients reach out to us? How do they come to know about
Yeah, you missed out one point more, that how the resources are being mobilized.
how we mobilize caregivers or
Yeah.
students for the training? So I'll start quickly with the first question, which is around what is the revenue model. So we have a subscription-based system. So what happens is our clients pay for the days of service that they take from us. So typically, if somebody, and we have a very flexible model, so somebody can just take a service for a day or a month or whatever period. So we charge them for every day of service that we provide to them. 70% of that, 70 to 75% of that income that we get, we pass on to the to our caregivers and
Okay,
nurses.
okay, okay. I'll interrupt here, Anant. The thing is, you told ki that generally these services are being provided into the urban areas and all, which are the poor people also.
Right.
So, whatever resources you are going to mobilize for caregiver, they are not going to come for a free. Minimum charges, minimum wage here to pay to
Right.
these people. How these
Yes.
people will afford, whether it's affordable category, that's why asking you that how that funding is being happening, so that you are subsidizing it or not subsidizing it. Yeah.
See, we get fund. We have a funding from Group SOS, the French partner with whom we work with. So they have funded us for this project. So we bootstrap the company initially, and then
And
we have
why would they fund you?
they are a social enterprise
Hmm.
and they have an impact funding model, right? So unlike a typical VC venture capitalist where they would like to get an exit very quickly, they are looking for much more longer, 6 years, 7 years kind of a period in India. And they're also a company. So they run similar kind of enterprise in France. In fact, as I mentioned, they have nearly 12,000 employees in France, right? Out of that, they run different kind of enterprises, but the most important is the home health care that they do. The French system, everything is paid by the government. So government takes care of the seniors. So they get reimbursement from the French government, unlike in India where it is out of pocket.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so that's the first point. Second is in terms of strength of staff. So we have nearly at any day, particular day, we would have nearly 300 to 400 staff distributed across the branches who are providing this service to our this thing. The third is how do we reach out to our seniors or clients? So we have two methods. One is we work closely with organizations like Cancer Society or Alzheimer related disorder society, dementia society. So that's one where we work with these NGOs or grassroots level organizations. The second is we also have a social media presence. So we document stories. If you go to our website, you realize that we have a section where we are talking about complete stories about. So we do a lot of primary research and documentation on our website. So many of our clients or
Okay,
their
okay,
family members
go,
find
go,
out.
got it. No, no need to explain it. You can
Yeah.
just do the
Yeah.
bullet points. Okay.
Yeah. The next point is about mobilizing caregivers or how do we find these caregivers. So what we have done is we have two models. So we work with reputed NGOs. Like in Orissa, we work with the reputed NGO who is our training partner. So we fund the training partner to train the students, and then we absorb them in our company. In Assam, what we have done is we have tied up with a reputed refinery there, and they have been funding our training program. So we have identified different methods to identify women primarily who need job and they are ready to move to the cities. So that's, I hope I have covered most of the points that you asked.
Okay, Bhushan ji, unmute yourself, sir.
This is a very good service which is very much needed. In fact, I was in need of it a couple of years back. So we had to hunt around, but there were a lot of options. In fact, most of the hospitals are providing this type of services right now, but their rates are very, very high. There are a lot of other private organizations who are also helping out in this. You seem to be quite well organized. I think that's your plus point. And now my personal experience is, although initially there is a lot of claim of people being trained and all that, but
can't hear you. Your voice is breaking.
Most of them work on a more on employment basis rather than anything else. So if you are doing that, I think that's really, really nice. And I would really like to have your contact because such requirements keep coming. And we do require such things as we go along and we get older. So I think this is a good service which is there. I think you should share your contact so that in case there is any requirement, we know where to go.
Sir,
your model is good. Really keep it up. Thank you. No specific question.
Any of the participants would like to comment on this? Shweta, Avnish, or the West Bengal? Any view from your side?
Yeah, this is Avnish from Akams Drug and Pharmaceutical. Only one thing, what your question was there, if the social costs, because the lot of this healthcare organization is coming out, but the only one thing is these all for the urban area. So if because lot this type of services required in the rural areas. So anything.
Avnish ji, let me tell you, because what is happening rural area, no, still that concept of the joint family is there, and people are there to take care. To be very frank, and this, what happens? Anything which is a startup, no, so it has to start from somewhere where there is a lot of demand. Okay, in rural area they must have made a study, and in times to come, of course, they will also touch upon that. Anant, you can just add up in case I'm wrong in that case.
No, you are absolutely right, Mr. Bansal, that it's also about demand and ability to pay. So what happens is typically most of our caregivers who come from rural area, they get paid much better in cities than they would get paid, say, in a rural area. And you also need a minimum size. So if you look at our system, every city we need to have a complete team, economic sized set of people to handle different functions. So it becomes much easier if it is in the city. Having said that, definitely with government intervention, we can do that.
Anant, one of my questions was unanswered. That was on the affordability. I asked whether it's affordable or non-affordable. Okay.
Yes. So currently, if you look at it, I have put that in the slide also, that our services are currently affordable to middle and upper middle class, right? So, and so that's where we are, because, and if you look at and it all depends on what is the kind of payments that we make to the caregivers, right? Because as I said, at 70% to 75% of whatever we get from the families, we pass on to the caregivers.
Yeah, but how will compete with the urban company or all these people who have been providing this sort of services? You know, they have got the deep pockets, and whereas that you will be having that sort of competition with these people.
Yes, you are right. What we have done is, unlike urban companies or some of the other companies, what we have done is that we have gone much more deeper. So we have specialized in service. So we only provide home nursing and caregiving. We do our own training. So we are able to source our own set of caregivers. We train them.
Hey, Anant, that doesn't work. You know, tomorrow in case I'm asking a yoga teacher to come from urban company, they are also finding that trained because I used that. That's what I'm saying. Or any electrician or a plumber, they are also, or a barber for that way. So they are also trained. We cannot say that we are training on our own.
Right.
They are also well trained as per the requirement. I'm just asking about that how you are going to compete with these people, you know.
Yes, so that's what I am saying. So if you look at the competition, it has to be on the quality of service, right? On price, we cannot compete. What we can compete, or what we are competing, in fact, even today, is on the quality of service that we provide. And as one of the jury members had also said, that we are very organized and we have gone much more deeper, right? So if you go to an urban company site and ask for a caregiver, they would have only one category. Whereas when it comes to Life Circle, we are able to go to a detail. We are able to see which caregiver would fit, who has worked with a dementia patient, aggressive dementia, what kind of dementia care. So we are able to even go to
You are
that.
saying that you are saying that you will be better in providing the services, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, great. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot. Now, Samir, next presentation, please.